Now, over the past few days, Hillary and we've been inundated with more emails in such a short period of time than we've ever had before.
Nigel.cecil, calling things out.
Hello, Chakapatis, welcome. Thank you for joining me, Nigel.cecil, and regular viewers will know, always assisted by my very good friend Hillary. And on this sunny afternoon, it's no exception, is it, Hillary? And we respond to the comments, views, observations and questions sent in by you, our fair-minded and equitable friends. And the topic for this video relates to equity. Equity, the trade union for professional actors, variety entertainers and other creatives across the United Kingdom. Now, as always, when you bring a topic to our attention, we endeavour to present your thoughts equally and fairly without taking sides regarding the discussions for or against any topic. And that certainly holds true for this particular topic. And we also endeavour to do our research so that, well, we don't guarantee to be 100% correct, but we do try our best. So if you hear something where, well, you think we've misspoken or misshown something, do let us know via our email address, and we'll endeavour to correct it as soon as possible, either with a future video or in the video notes. Now, over the past few days, Hillary and we've been inundated with more emails in such a short period of time than we've ever had before, even more than when Equity announced that they'd affiliated on behalf of the union to the Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Well, and you've guessed the topic, haven't you? Yes, it's the Supreme Court ruling about sex and gender. And 4 days ago, Equity published a statement on their website, which not many members look at, but it went over into social media. And that's what generated all the emails, because you got in touch and said, Nigel, what's going on? Can Equity do this? Can they take a side that's contrary to the Supreme Court judgment and say it's on behalf of all their members? Well, other trade unions have done similar. But you're saying, well, no, Equity's unique. Equity's unique in the fact that all the members, well, many of them are self-employed sole traders. They don't have a political fund. So when they take a decision on a topic such as this, a divisive topic, is it in the best interests of all the members? So we did a little research on your behalf, and Hillary has given me some notes, because it's quite clear to say from these postings, and we'll put some of the postings up on the screen, won't we, Hillary? So you can judge for yourself. But have a look at Equity's Facebook page and other social media. But it really has divided Equity's members' opinions. I mean, really, some of them are OTT. Is this in the best interests of Equity? And some have said, can Equity actually do this? Because the General Secretary, Paul Fleming, has posted this on behalf of all the members, and presumably with the authority of the Council, under the policies and directions of the Council. So why can they do that? Because, you know, they're disagreeing with the law. Well, did you vote for the new rule book a few years ago? You see, the old rule book clearly said that the General Secretary may only act in accordance with the policies and directions of the Council, or words to that effect, and in accordance with the rules and the law. But the new rule book that came in 2022, a referendum of the whole membership, which the certification officer even said was a thorough consultation with 70-odd members, yes, well, that removed the reference to the law. And it now just says that the General Secretary will act in accordance with the rules. So presumably this means that they can break the law, does it? Well, we'll leave that one with you. But presumably you knew about that when you voted for the new rule book. But then when you also look at that, the members being so divided on things, we looked at the Facebook postings, and of course we've erased, even though they're in the public domain, all the names, because we don't want to assume we can just use a member's name. So we've erased all the names. That's why you're seeing the green lines. But the other thing is, have you noticed the little thing at the bottom of all the posts? And it brings us to freedom of expression. Surely Equity is the champion of freedom of expression. But at the base of all the posting it says, Equity has limited who can comment on this post. Now what does that mean? Does this mean that free speech has been curtailed? What rules, what criteria has Equity brought in to say, well, that comment's going to be limited? How do they know? How do they judge it? And should they be doing that? Is this a question you should be asking Equity? What does it mean? Does this limit free speech within Equity? Because some of you say, well, there's a cancel culture anyway. But then the other thing, as you know, you've probably only got 8 days, because it's a postal ballot, to send in your vote to elect the General Secretary of Equity for a period of office from 2025 to 2030. One, of course, is the current incumbent, Paul W. Fleming, and the other candidate is Riky Ash. Now, we've tried to get in touch with Riky to get a comment about this particular issue, but we've not really been successful. But some of you have said, you should be voting now for Riky Ash. So has this brought about a surge of votes for Riky Ash? If it has, you've only got 8 days to get the message out to other members and do something about it. Or will it cause a rebound for Paul Fleming? So we're going to leave those facts with you, but it's certainly a topic. Well, it's raised the rafters, definitely. The gallery is definitely screaming, aren't they, for something? But we don't know what, and we're not suggesting what. We hope that you will get in touch and let us know. What do you think? Should Equity have made that statement on behalf of all their members? Has it divided members' opinion? Have the rules been changed for the benefit of all the Equity members with the reference to the law removed? And indeed, has freedom of expression been curtailed within Equity? And will there be a surge of interest in voting for Equity's General Secretary? We'll leave this with you. And of course, as always, don't forget, we say, whenever it comes to showbiz, good art, good work, and in showbiz, you better keep your fingers crossed. Professional solidarity, comrades, together.
Please hit the subscribe button and join us again, because together every viewer helps. Thank you.